I'm sure if you're planning an unmedicated birth, you've heard someone say,
"Oh, there's no way I could ever do that."
Or even worse,
"Why would you do that to yourself?"
You may wonder, do I have what it takes to have a natural birth? Is it the right choice for me? Well, I'm Jessica. I'm a doula and childbirth educator, and I've had the honor of supporting thousands of moms through their birth journeys. And let me just say, those thoughts are completely normal. Birthing without any medical intervention is not common, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. In fact, until just recently, almost every woman in the world had a natural birth. Think about it. If it was possible for millions of women for thousands of years, don't you think you can do it too? But having a natural birth now, it takes more planning, it takes more intention than it did 100 years ago. You have challenges that you must overcome. So the question isn't whether or not you can have a natural birth. The real question is it right for you? And in this YouTube video, we're going to cover 5 questions you can ask yourself to see if a natural birth is the right choice for you. And we'll discuss how you can enroll in our free training about natural birth in a hospital setting. Let me start by telling you about one of the moms I worked with. Her name was Emily. And when I first met her, she told me she wanted a natural birth, but she wasn't entirely sure why. She had heard it was healthier. It sounded just like the right thing to do. But as we talked more, she uncovered just kind of a deeper reason. For Emily, it wasn't just about avoiding the medication. She wanted to feel connected to her body and fully present during her baby's birth. And that became her guiding purpose. And it gave her the determination to prepare and stay focused when things got tough. So now let me ask you, why do you want a natural birth? Is it because of the potential health benefits for you and your baby? A desire to avoid intervention? Maybe you've heard stories about how transformative it can be and you want that experience for yourself. There's no wrong answer, but understanding your why is key. It helps you approach labor with intentionality and clarity. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take some time to reflect on this. Ask yourself, why do I want to have a natural birth? Write it down, even if it helps. Go through all of the reasons, bullet point them on a piece of paper, and really nail down exactly why you want a natural birth. And here's why. When you have that all written down, when you are in the midst of really intense contractions or you're really struggling, you'll be able to remember your why, and it will give you the energy and the strength to be able to push forward and push into your contractions and your labor and be able to actually accomplish your goal.
Jessica being able to communicate her why to me was a big part of me getting on board with her birth plan.
Your why doesn't have to be complicated, but it just has to matter to you. All right, let's talk about the next question. Where do you want to give birth and who will be your provider? If you've been following me for a while, you know I have had 3 epidural-free births in a variety of settings. And when I was pregnant with my first baby in 2013, I was seeing an OB in a local hospital. And I liked her. But as I began to learn more about natural birth, I realized that she just wouldn't be the best option for me if I really wanted to achieve my goal. It's not that she was rude, it's not that she was unsupportive. I just felt that the particular hospital, it wasn't setting me up for the best success at having a natural birth. And honestly, it just was kind of a gut feeling that I had. And at 31 weeks, I switched to a birth center that was attended by certified nurse midwives, and it was 100% the best choice for me. The environment at the birth center was completely different. The midwives were so supportive of my goal for a natural birth, and the whole setup was designed to make me feel comfortable and in control. I was able to labor how I wanted, was able to move around, was able to listen to my body. It felt empowering, and I knew that I was in a place where my choices were fully respected. And so that's why I encourage every mom considering a natural birth to think carefully about where they want to give birth and who will support them. Hospitals can absolutely work for natural birth, especially if you have an OB or a midwife who's truly supportive. But it's worth asking yourself, is this the right environment for me? Is my provider the best fit for my goals? And if you're looking at hospitals, one thing to do would be to find out their policies on things like moving around during labor, intermittent monitoring, and also Pitocin use. Those are 3 things that I really would recommend you ask your OB about.
This is a good time to tell you we have a free training called 4 Secrets to an Unmedicated Hospital Birth. So if you're planning a natural birth at the hospital, this is for you.
In this class, you'll learn how to achieve a natural birth, get your partner on board, and advocate for yourself so you can prevent and avoid unneeded interventions. The link to sign up for this class is in the description below. So we have so many students every day who have successful natural births in the hospital. If you're open to exploring other options in a hospital though, we also have many students that choose a birth center or even a home birth just because of that extra freedom and comfort that those locations usually allow. But ultimately, the best place to give birth is the one where you feel safe, supported, and confident in your decisions. Don't be afraid to trust your gut like I did. It can lead you to exactly where you're meant to be. All right, let's talk about question 3. What kind of support system do you have?
All right, let's break down support, okay? Partners play a huge role in this. And I'll admit, I did not appreciate and understand that when Jessica first became pregnant, because I thought, honestly, my job is to just stay out of the way and wait for my child to be born. But I quickly learned that having a trained birth partner was crucial to Jessica's goal of a natural birth. This is backed up by research, in fact. Having a trained birth partner lowers your risk of needing a C-section or pain meds and increases your chance of having a positive birth experience. They can help you advocate for yourself and your birth goals, which is especially important since your primary focus should be on breathing, relaxing, and birthing your baby, and not constantly having to field questions. So think about, who do you want to support you during your birth? Do you want to hire a doula? Does your partner want to support you? And if they do they understand enough about birth to help you achieve your goals? If not, is he willing to learn? That's a big one. Is he willing to learn? If he wants to support you, I highly recommend that you both take our free unmedicated birth class that we mentioned earlier, because I'm going to talk to partners about specific ways to support moms during birth. Again, you can sign up in the description below. But we believe a couples-focused education is what's so key to mom achieving the birth goals that she wants, because partners will then be able to empower her.
Here's another question you should ask yourself. Do you really believe that your body can birth without medications? What do you believe deep down? Do you trust in your body's ability to give birth? Having a natural birth isn't just about your body literally being able to do it, it's also about your mind. If you don't believe that you can do this, you'll be climbing an uphill battle. And I've seen lots of moms go into labor with doubts, thinking like, what if I can't handle the pain? Here's what I tell them. Labor pain, it's a different kind of pain. It's not like there's literally something wrong in your body. It's actually your body working the way it should, bringing your baby into the world. And that is a big shift in perspective. So think of it like this. When you work out, you lift weights, your muscles get sore, right? It's not fun, but you know that it's getting you to your goal to be able to lift more weights. Well, labor is actually kind of like that. It's intense, but it's getting you somewhere. It's bringing you closer to meeting your baby. So it might be good for you just to take a minute. You can journal, kind of like what I said earlier about your why. You can ask some of these questions. Like 1, how do you handle stuff like discomfort or pain in other areas of your life? Because how you think about labor and about pain really matters. And if you can trust your body and see pain as a part of the process, not something to be afraid of or to avoid, you'll feel way more in control and you'll feel actually less pain. And if you're not feeling confident or not feeling that way yet, that's okay. It does take time to build that trust in your body and in yourself. So here's what I recommend. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who will affirm you and help you feel confident in your body's ability to birth your baby. Because here's the thing, your body, it can do some amazing things, and you were made to birth. You were made to have your baby.
It's also really helpful to talk to people who had a natural birth before. What worked for them? What were the challenges that they faced? And what was their why? But when you have actual conversations with people about that, you'll start to just see how doable it really is.
All right, the last question I want you to ask yourself, how will you advocate for your birth plan in a hospital setting if that's where you're choosing to have your baby? A lot of the moms that I do work with, they do choose to give birth in the hospital. And that can be a great choice, but you need to know it often comes with its own set of challenges, especially for moms who want a natural birth. And one of the most common concerns I hear about is navigating interventions. So for instance, many hospitals have standard policies like continuous fetal monitoring, where they put those belts around your belly to monitor your baby. And those can actually limit your mobility during labor, and they actually are shown to increase your risk of C-section. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, intermittent monitoring is something you should ask for because it will effectively monitor your baby well, but it also will reduce that C-section risk. And since mobility is key to managing contractions naturally, I always recommend asking your provider about that intermittent monitoring, or another option would be wireless monitors if movement is important to you to be able to manage your contractions. Another challenge moms face is the suggestion to speed up labor, which might involve things like breaking your water or starting Pitocin. And while these suggestions aren't always necessary, they can be intimidating to push back against or question in the moment. And that's where having a clear plan and a supportive team really comes in handy. Most moms that I work with create a simple birth plan outlining their priorities, such as staying mobile, avoiding unnecessary interventions, delaying cord clamping, doing wireless monitoring, all the things that I just talked about. But what you'll want to do is share this plan with your provider ahead of time. Talk to him or her about it in one of your prenatal appointments, just so you can make sure everyone is on the same page before labor begins.
This is where having that strong support team is really crucial when you're doing a natural birth in a hospital, whether that's your partner, a family member, a friend, a doula. Having someone by your side who understands your goals and is willing to advocate for you, stand up for your wishes, that can make a huge difference. So take some time to envision in your mind the perfect birth team that you want to surround yourself with.
Another thing to really look into is, what are your hospital's specific policies? How supportive is your provider of natural birth? Has your provider ever attended a natural birth? That'd be a great question to ask. Do you have people in your corner who can help you stay confident and in control? With this right preparation, all this preparation I'm talking about, and support, a natural birth in a hospital is just as possible as it is at a home birth. It just takes a little extra planning and a little extra communication. All right, those are the top 5 questions you should ask yourself if you're planning a natural birth. I hope that these questions have helped you figure out whether or not a natural birth is right for you.
And Jessica mentioned having a birth plan earlier. If you take our free class on 4 secrets to an unmedicated hospital birth, we're gonna give you also our free birth plan template for couples that includes not just the stuff that you'll want to have on there, but it includes a special section for your partner. So be sure to check that out.
Sign up for the class. The link is in the description.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more couples-focused birth videos like this. We also want to hear from you in the comments. What's your biggest question or concern about unmedicated birth?
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.